What's going on, guys? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Don't mind me. I'm in my bar right now, trying to record this real quick, and then head to Starbucks and use the Wi-Fi and upload it. But so I just wanted to make three parts of a whole story slash what I've been going through for the past month and a half, I should say. Um, as I posted on my Snapchat at Heaven SSB 450 that I was gonna just explain everything through my YouTube channel, because if I do it via Snapchat or Instagram, you guys wouldn't really understand everything that's going on if it's broken up in pieces. So that's why I'm making this video. It's gonna be a three-part video. I'm already telling you guys right now, it's gonna be a three-part video because it's long but not long, like for you to really understand everything that's going on. If you want to stick around, stick around. I'm telling you, from now, each part of this video is going to be 15 minutes. There's going to be three parts, and each three parts is going to be 15 minutes each. So I'm telling you from now, it's either you grab your popcorn, grab a snack, grab some juice, and sit down and listen, or dip from now. It's better you just dip from now if you don't want to listen. I don't know what's going on, but as you can see, my one side of my boob is higher than one side. I guess that's just how it is. But the way I'm sitting down right now, it's weird. But anyways, let's get into today's video. Alright, so since starting of 2020, it's been a very rocky one. Coming into 2020, I already knew 2020 is starting off is gonna be a very rocky situation. So I already was preparing myself for it. But then coming into 2020, I decided that I'm gonna take a trip before I settle down, aka before I start fresh and everything like that. So I decided I'm gonna take a trip. So I took a trip with a close friend of mine. First of all, I was supposed to take the trip by bus. I love to travel. But one thing is that when you travel by plane, you're only seeing inside of an airport. And if you travel by car, you can see everywhere. I don't have a driver's license. I don't have a car. So my best option close to a car is to do the bus. So I was going to travel by the bus. Yes, I was going to travel by the bus and everything like that. So I had my ticket and everything like that. And my friend was like, well, do you know where I'm going? I said, I been knew where you're going, but I wanted to get my own ticket and not depend on anybody. But my friend was like, well, if you know where I'm going, why don't you take a trip with me? Because I'm going to be on the bus by myself. My friend is going to be in the car by that person's self. So I was like, well, let me hurry up and try to cancel the ticket for the bus before it's too late. Well, 15 minutes apparently is too late. So that money went to waste. I took the trip with my friend because we were going in the same direction. So I just took the trip with my friend, a very close friend of mine. And the plan was, when I get to the state that we both are going to end up being in, I am going to take the bus from that state and go to the other side of the state. Because my friend lives in the front of the, like, you on this, if you understand what I'm saying, I'm meaning like when you enter the state, my friend lived as soon as you enter the state. I was gonna go at the other end of the state. So I was just gonna stay in the state that at the front of the state that my friend is at for a couple of days, and then I go to the other end of the state where I'm supposed to initially visit before I go to the state that I want to go to settle down and start fresh. When I went to the other side of the state where I'm supposed to be at for only a couple of days to visit family, aka my grandparents I haven't spoken to in months, almost a year and a couple of months. So I was like, let me just surprise them. I took the phone up and I called my grandpa and I said, Grandpa, I don't really want to explain everything right now. And me saying I don't want to explain everything right now is me not trying to explain why they haven't heard from me in almost a year and a couple of months. Because it wouldn't make a difference to them. It wouldn't. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna come to visit for a couple of days. Don't tell grandma I'm coming. Just keep it to yourself. He's the guy. He's supposed to be the man of the house. If the man of the house or whoever is supposed to be the head of the house can't keep shit to themselves, that's bad. That is very bad, especially if you're a guy and you can't and other people don't see you as being the head of the house. Like, that is so bad. But anyways, I told my grandpa I'm coming for a couple of days. Didn't tell them when I'm coming or anything like that, so they could expect me anytime. So I told them I'm coming for a couple of days, and then I'm gonna be leaving and going to wherever I'm supposed to initially start my life over for 2020. So that was the plan. The first time I came to the other side of the state, aka where my grandparents are, aka 2 hours away from the front of the state where my friend and I say our goodbyes or whatever. Like, I left that area. I just left that area. So a couple days after that, I reached to the other side of the town, other side of the state where my grandparents are, and yeah, when I got here, it was the vibe I first got wasn't really what I expected from a grandparent of mine. Like, any grandparents shouldn't give off that vibe. Like, I'll get that vibe off friends or people that are friends to me, or strangers to me, or somebody who's trying to be friends with me, somebody that is not family. So that vibe is not for family, but I got that vibe from family. So it was supposed to initially be for a couple of days. Within 2 days after me being here, I was supposed to leave the third day. The second day after me being here, my grandpa got a call from his hospital saying that he needs to come in right now. I don't know what that call is about. I don't know nothing that has to do with my grandpa or my grandma. I don't know nothing that they got going on. But my grandma was like, this was, I think this was 9 o'clock at night. 9 o'clock at night they got the call. So we ended up leaving that same night around an hour and a half after we got the call. But I didn't know that the hospital that he had to go to is back at the beginning of the state, aka 2 hours away from where we are at right now, aka back to the place where I was at in the beginning with a close friend of mine. So yeah, we took a 2 hour drive to the hospital. When we got to the hospital, I was confused, didn't know what to do, sad. I was full of mixed emotions because you're gonna get a call 9 o'clock at night, even though me and my grandparents haven't spoke for hours, or not even hours, for months, almost a year and a half. You guys are still family to me. I'm still gonna have feelings for that. I'm gonna still have very strong heart-held feelings for that. So I was at the hospital sitting down while my grandma and my grandpa was in the room where the doctors were talking to them. Then we were at the hospital for almost 2 hours, going to 3 hours, and we finally left. But we left without my grandpa. That same night, my grandpa got admitted to the hospital, and he has been in the hospital for almost 2 weeks. Almost 2 weeks from that day. And have in mind, me and my grandma and my grandpa, we stayed 2 hours away from the hospital, but my grandpa is at the hospital for 2 weeks by himself, while me and my grandma are back at the other side of town, aka the other side of the state. Within those 2 weeks, I took it up on myself because my grandma had to work at that time. I wasn't working because I wasn't in the state that I'm supposed to be initially at. So I wasn't working. Yeah, I wasn't working and everything like that. So I was like, let me just, because he's in the hospital and I don't know really what's going on, and he's by himself because my grandma had to work and everything like that, and I'm not working. So I'm like, let me just, within those 2 weeks, I stayed for almost a week and a couple of days with him in the hospital. That's very hard because I haven't spoken to them in almost a year and a couple of months, and I was supposed to be on the other side of the whole United States within 3 days after me visiting them. But then that didn't go as planned. So who I was supposed to stay with in the other side of the United States, they got mad, and I would be mad as well, because me and that person already set up and said this is what's gonna happen. They bought me food, they bought me a whole lot of products. That person is family, it's not a stranger, they're family. I'm not gonna really say who it is right now. They're family, and they bought me food, they bought me everything. They were waiting on me. They were waiting on me, but once again, shit happened, and I went MIA because I was really just trying to focus on my grandpa at that time. Even though we haven't spoken to years, through months, almost a year and a half. So after like within those week and couple of days that I've stayed with him, when it's rounding up to the point where he's almost out of the hospital, I was going through personal stuff with my own life. And I was still trying to deal with that while I'm trying to be there for him. That is very hard. I'm telling you right now, that is very hard, because when you can't deal with your own personal life and you're helping somebody else, everything is gonna bottle up in the end, and it's just gonna stress you that fuck out, and it's just gonna be hard for you to settle everything in. So I had to take a break off my own life. I had to take a break from all of my family members that been waiting on me to make sure he's okay. Within the week and couple of days that I've been around my grandpa, I found out that he has a bad kidney, and it's to the point where he probably would need a kidney from somebody that has the same blood type that he does. I the minute I heard that, I took it up on myself and start asking questions, start trying to figure stuff out, drop stuff that has to do with me and the family that has been waiting on me and everything like that. Drop all of those things and been trying to figure stuff out, because no matter if you're a stranger, you are a friend or family, if I could help in any which way or form, I'm gonna try my best to do that. So I took it upon myself, asked a whole bunch of questions, was to the point where I was offering him one of my kidney. First of all, I don't know what the situation is. I don't really know much about what is going on with him, because once again, I haven't talked to him or my grandma in almost almost a year and a half. So I really, really don't know in depth of what is going on. But once I hear somebody's life is a risk, if I could help in any wish or form, I'm going to do that. So yes, I did tell him that I'm thinking about I'm thinking about offering one of my kidney to him. Okay? He has daughters, he has grandkids. He's not my grandpa. He has daughters that is biologically his child, and he has grandkids that is biologically his child. Um, they haven't called him. They didn't visit him while he was in the hospital. None of that shit. None. I'm telling you, I've been with him through the hospital. I've been with him from he had been admitted to when he got out. And none of them visited him. Okay? I know that because I was there with him and nobody visited him. With me dealing with my own life and me being around him, that right there is just crazy. But yeah, took it up on myself, asked a whole bunch of questions, and was to the point where I was gonna get myself checked out to know if I'm okay, if know my blood type, and know if I'm a candidate to give him really one of my kidney. Was to the point where I was gonna do that, even though I told him that I would do it. I need to make sure from the doctor's side that I'm okay to do it. That was how close I was to do it. But then after I did that, after I asked a whole bunch of questions, they were sending me to places. Have in mind, I don't drive, and me going a whole bunch of places is gonna cost a whole lot of money via Uber. So I had to do it within where I could go. So there wasn't much places I could go by walking, like there wasn't. So I called a whole bunch of places and everything like that, and there wasn't much I could do. So Didn't tell nobody there wasn't much I could do. Didn't tell my grandpa there wasn't much I could do because I needed to see for myself how far everything is going to go with him getting better, or how far everything is going to go if he really, 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 really is in the point where he has to get the kidney right now. So didn't tell anybody about it. So yeah, fast forward to when he got out. When he got out, we got home, which is on the it's on the other side of the state that we are in. When we got home and everything like that, it was just weird. Like when I first got to this house, I got that feeling again when we got back to the house. If you understand what I'm saying, like the feeling I got when I first got here after I haven't spoken to them in almost a year and a half is the feeling I got when he got out of the hospital, when we got back to the house again. So yeah, that feeling wasn't good. I hate when I had that feeling, and I hate when I have that feeling with family. I hate it. I would prefer to have that feeling with stranger or friends, but just so happened that I have that feeling with family. So yeah, and I went back in my little box because if I'm in that feeling space, if I'm around that feeling, I would prefer to keep myself close to myself and just close me out of everything that has a negative feeling upon myself. So yes, at the house there is a room, and since we got back from the hospital, I've been in that room. I've been in that room like 90% of the day, and the 10% I would just go outside to take a breather and come back in the room. And the same thing as every day goes by, that's just been my routine. There would be a couple of days where I would go to the gym and everything like that, but besides that, I'm in my box. When I'm in my box, there has to be a reason for that. When I'm in my box and who caused me to be in my box, they won't hear from me. Probably 80% of the day, they won't hear from me. 20% they probably, 10% they probably will definitely hear from me, but 80% they won't hear from me. So yeah, if that person is causing me to feel that way, they honestly wouldn't hear from me. Plus, because everything that I'm going through, I need to deal with myself first. I need to do that. So yeah, it's just crazy, and yeah, it's just crazy. So that's gonna be the first part of this video. I'm gonna start the second part right now. Okay. So the second part of the video, the second part is like me starting over, because remember, I was supposed to only be here for 3 days. Within the 3 days, the second day my grandpa got sick. So my plan, my family that was waiting on me from the long time ago, all of that got canceled. All of that just dropped. They didn't speak to them about it because I didn't know how to explain everything to them. At that time, I didn't tell them anything. The family that was waiting on me, I didn't tell them anything. So when it come to the point where I had to speak to them and tell them and explain everything that was going on, I did do that. They were slightly mad, but there wasn't much they could have done because somebody was sick. Somebody was in the hospital. It was to the point where the person needed a kidney. So all they could have done is just said, okay, Selena, do what you gotta do. I dropped everything, and all of my plans got canceled. For me to start my life over, all of that got canceled. So I ended up staying here. From the day I got here till now, I ended up staying here. It's to the point where I'm slightly living here, but slightly not. Like, I'm living here, but not. Because I didn't plan to stay here. So that's the why I'm saying I'm living here, but not. So, yeah. Within the couple of days after we got here from the hospital, yeah, I just went in my little box because I had that feeling again that I don't like it with nobody at all. And if I have that feeling from somebody, I'm gonna try and be away from it. I'm gonna just put myself in my little box, and if you enter that box, I give you access to go in that box. Like, without me telling you you can go in there, you're in that box. And that right there is good, because that shows me and shows me that you're really supposed to be in the box. If you're not in that box, you won't hear from me. I'm telling this from now. You won't hear from me. So yeah. Got back to the house and everything like that. Dropped everything. I got disrespected left, right, and center. I got disrespected saying, "Oh, why the fuck are you in the room closed up," and everything like that. I'm in a very weird position because, one, your husband or you got sick, and I took it up on myself and stayed because somebody got sick that is in a life and death situation. So for me to be getting disrespected left, right, and center, that is very unnecessary. Within the time that we got here, to the point where I'm like, I know I'm gonna be here for a while. Why don't I look for a job? Why don't I look for somewhere to stay at? Because the feeling I'm having right now is just pushing me away from you guys. So with me being in the room 90% of the day or 80% of the day, I'm not just in the room not doing shit. I have a laptop. Well, it's not really mine, but I have a laptop. I have a phone. There is internet access. With me growing up, with me being by myself for almost 6 years of my life, I know the go around in this world. There's Craigslist. There's places you can go on the internet and find if they're hiring, or if you want to rent out a room, you can go on the internet and ask questions. You don't really need somebody for that. So yes, I've been in the room for 90% of the day on the computer, looking for jobs, looking for places to stay at, because I don't want to be around this vibe right here. So I'm really pushing it. So within within I wouldn't say within a month after I've been here, I found a job. But the job, at the beginning, I had a feeling it wasn't really going to work out because of my situation. AKA, it's very hard for me to get a job. So if I find a job, I have to try my best to hold on to it with everything I can. But if the job has to let me go, they have to let me go. So within a month and a couple of days after I found a job, some stuff came up on their end saying that my number that I have to get tax taken out of my pay and everything like that is not working. That was the only reason why they had to let me go, because they can't give me money without taking money out of it, because it wouldn't be fair for everybody else to be getting money taken out of their paycheck, and I am not. So they had to let me go for that one reason only. So that was that. So within that happening, within a couple of days after that happened to me, didn't tell the persons that I'm living with right now, aka my grandparents, didn't tell them anything. I just kept it to myself, because once again, why am I gonna tell them stuff if all I'm gonna hear is cursing, cursing, cursing? I hate cursing. I hate going back and forth. It's either I'm gonna sit down, talk about it, or keep my mouth shut. And I love to talk about stuff. I don't like feeling like there's something needed to be let out and it's not being let out. So I love to talk about stuff. I love to talk. Once I'm comfortable with you, you would hear me talking 24/7. I love to talk. If I had the strength and everything in me to take that person's phone away from them and just talk to them, I would do that. I would do that. Like, because it's just a phone blocking you from communicating with somebody. So if I had the chance to just take away whatever is blocking that communication, I would do it. So yeah, I didn't tell them anything like that. I just, once again, come back in my room, started looking for jobs again. Within me doing that, it wasn't a very easy task. It wasn't. It was not. So I was like, for the years, I've been watching YouTube videos. I've been going back and forth with videoing, but I haven't posted anything yet. With YouTube, it's a very weird but risky but great platform to make money. So the way you can make money is by uploading video consistently, by getting a good amount of views, by getting people to subscribe, like, and comment on your videos. You can get a whole lot of stuff. Those are honestly the main stuff you really need to get money from YouTube. And if it's that easy, why not do it? But you have to make sure that you're really about it. So for 6 years, I've been looking into it, but it wasn't to the point where I would do it. But now when I'm seeing that my life is really, really coming to the point where I need to get my shit straight, I just did it. Because one, I lost my job, not because of me being a bad worker. I was an excellent worker, but because of money, I lost my job. So I'm like, let me just do it. I'm in my little corner recording videos back to back to back. But then I'm like, I need to be out there. I can't be just in this one little room recording video. So I took it up on myself, woke up one morning, and I was like, where are my grandparents at? Where are they at? Nobody was home. My grandma, nobody was home. 1 minute. So what's going on, guys? It's your girl, the Million SSB, and in the clip before this, you guys would have probably seen that I'm in a different position right now, aka a different area, aka a different environment, everything like that. Yes, I am actually in a different area. So I am at Target right now, and I'm at Target trying to do work / upload videos / make a video, aka finish the videos that I had made earlier. So yeah, so in the video before this one, I didn't finish explaining what I was saying because I was interrupted. So yep, I ended up leaving the area that I was in to finish what I was saying. So to just wrap everything up and everything like that, so I had ended up calling my grandma and I asked her, so where are you at? She said to me that she is in Columbia for a business, like she's gonna be in Columbia, South Carolina for 3 days for her business or whatever. I'm like, okay, didn't explain anything to her, whatever. So I'm like, okay, they didn't tell me they were leaving. Now I called them and found out where they were, so they didn't tell me anything, and I called and I said, where you at, whatever. So I'm like, well, I'm trying to leave, you're not here, you won't be here for 3 days, so why not leave even though you're not here? And yeah, so ended up leaving or whatnot, and in between the time of me leaving, I guess I wasn't supposed to do what I did, which is just left on without telling anybody anything. But have in mind, they didn't tell me they were leaving or anything like that, so I just felt like I could leave. So they didn't tell me they were leaving or whatever, so don't mind me if I'm looking around because I'm in a weird position right at Target trying to finish the video and trying to upload videos or whatever like that. So yeah, so when I got back from my little 4-day vacation, which I didn't tell anybody I was doing because they didn't tell me they were leaving for apparently 3 days, but I knew they weren't leaving for 3 days, but I'm just plain dumb. Didn't tell anybody I was leaving, I just left. And I came back on the 4th day after my little vacation is over or whatever. When I came back was when World War 44 started, because I knew I was going to get cursed out and whatever. And I have a history of depression for multiple reasons, mainly because I got raped and molested. Raped and molested. Not only raped, I got raped and molested a couple years ago, and that affected me. So with them stressing me out, it's just bringing me back to my depression mode, and I don't like that. So yes, they start cursing me out, saying, "Oh, you're in my house, you should tell me where you're going, blah blah blah, whatever. I'm the grown up, you should listen to me, what this and that and the third." Yeah, it's not very easy. It's not very easy. So it's not very easy, and so with that all happening, it's just stressful, and I started crying, started breaking down, started going off everybody as to why I love to be by myself, because that would just stop me from going off on everybody. So yes, then my grandma was like, "You gotta leave out of my house within a couple days afterwards, because you feel like you can just go and come." I was here, didn't tell you I was leaving, would have told you if I'm completely leaving, would have told you. So why are you expecting the unexpected? Like, not in that way, but why are you expecting me to fully leave if I don't tell you I'm leaving? But yeah, so that kind of rounds up everything. Yeah, that kind of rounds up everything about what has been really going on. And yeah, I love staying by myself, or I love being around people who just don't let me think negative about anything, and just I just love being around happy people, positive people, and stuff like that. But once the negative kicks in, I don't like it. So in the next video, like my video after this, hopefully I'm gonna be more in a happy place, more in a happy environment, and hopefully my mood is gonna be happy. Right now I'm low-key down, and I'm in Target finishing the video. Yeah, I just don't like arguing with people. I don't like going back and forth. I don't like family who wish down on other family members. I've been through a lot. I'm a Jamaican, and with people being Jamaican or people being not from the state, it's just very hard overall. So yeah, but anyways, that's just gonna be the end of this video. If you have questions for me, feel free to ask down in the comments below. I would like for you guys to just share and subscribe to this channel here. It's a very fun channel. You're not gonna always see this side of me. Actually, you will never, after this, hopefully, pray to God, you will never see this side of me ever again. But I want you guys to just stay tuned for more videos to come, more reaction, and yeah, see you guys on the flip side. Peace.